Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to create your own add-ins in Microsoft Excel. But before we get to that, would you please take just a minute to like and subscribe, and then click on that notification bell so that you'll get notifications every time we upload a new video for you. And please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you about this video. If you have anything to add, that would be great. I always love to hear from you. So back to the video, what we're going to do today is I'm going to create a macro that's actually going to format a selection of cells. Whatever selection we make with our mouse, we want to format the cells with a border, and we're going to give it a color as well. So basically what I can do here is, now that I have a selection, I'll just show you what happens when we record a macro. So we'll click on record on the developer tab. We'll just leave that macro 5. We'll click OK. And then I'm going to right click on that selected region, go down to format cells. I'll go to the border tab. It's already there for me. Let me bring this up into the screen. And then what I want to do down here where we have color is I'll select blue. And then I'm going to go over here under presets and click on outline. You can see it's going to give a full outline to that range. And then click on inside to make sure all the inside borders are formatted as well. So I'm going to click OK, and this is exactly what we're looking to do, but we want to automate it with this macro. And I'm going to click on stop recording. Then I'm going to go to macros. I'm going to find that macro 5. I'm going to click on edit so we can see the code. We see sub macro 5 here. And then if you see, we've got selection, borders, line style, so on and so forth. We've got, XL edge left, XL edge top. We've got a lot of lines of code here. That's a lot of stuff, but it works. So if we click out of that, if I go over here and make another selection, then go over here to macros again, find macro 5 instead of edit, I'm just going to run it, and it works. It does what we're looking to do. This is our goal. However, we can actually accomplish this literally with one line of code. So let's go to Visual Basic in the developer tab. Let's go to modules under our borderblue.xlsm file, which is the file we're working in. Let's go to insert and then module. I'm going to start a new module that I can start writing this macro in. We're going to call this subprocedure border blue. All right, so this literally, I'm not even kidding you, it takes one line of code. So we're going to type in selection, and so this refers to the selection that will be made with the mouse on the spreadsheet itself, just like we were doing before. And so it's going to be selection dot borders, and that's with an S, that's plural, not border. Won't work if you do that. Has to be borders, and then dot color index. And then we're going to put an equals, and we're going to select an index number value of 5. Now there's actually like 56 of these color index values, 1 through 56. And I've actually got a cool website that I found that actually shows all of these color indexes. I'll leave a link to this in the description below. And so I misspoke. There's actually 57 of these because it starts at 0, I think, with white, and all the way through 56. So there's actually 57 of them. And so for index 5, it's this blue color. So if we go back to the spreadsheet, when we fill this in, or let me go back to my BB editor, make sure I save this, Control S. And so I'm going to close this. I'm going to make a selection of cells, and then I'm going to go to macros. I'm going to go find border blue right there, and I'm going to run it. And look, it works just like the other recorded macro, but with couldn't even count how many less lines of code. So that's pretty cool, right? So easy stuff. And then you can change the color index, obviously, if you want to, just like we were talking about. But now, how do I make this into an add-in so I can use this in any workbook file that I'm working in when I have Excel open? First things first, I'm going to go back to the Visual Basic editor, and I'm in this borderblue.xlsm file. I want to delete that first module that has all that excessive code in it because I just don't need it. So I'm going to right click on that module. I'm going to remove it. No, I don't want to save it or export it. But I do want to keep this module here, and I can actually rename this down here if you have the properties window open. If you don't see the properties window, just go to the view tab up here and then find your properties window, or alternatively you can press F4 as the keyboard shortcut. And then I go in here where it says name, not up here where it says module 2, but down here where it says name in that alphabetic tab. I can just put border blue and name it that way. So now it shows up as border blue in my modules. If I had a list of several in here, they would be named and I could, tell which is which. All right, so I'm going to close the VB editor, and here in my border blue file, I'm going to go over here to file and I'm going to do save as. So when you go to save as, I've already got this path selected here from a previous file that I saved. We want to look for the Excel add-in file format. Right there it says Excel add-in and it's .xlam. Now when I click that, make note of what happens here. This is and my name's not Marcy, that's my wife actually. So if we go here to users, Marcy, it goes to this hidden folder by default, this app data, roaming, Microsoft, and add-ins by default when you select that, and that's okay. You can actually change that. You can save these wherever you want to. I'm just going to go ahead and save it. It doesn't really matter. I'd already saved that previously. I was just going back to show you. It doesn't really matter where it's saved, because what's going to happen is on our developer tab, we're going to go over here to the add-ins group and we're going to click on this Excel add-ins with the 2 gears right there. And we're going to find our add-in we just saved right here. It's going to be in our list here. We're going to check that. We're going to click OK. And now that's going to be available to us. Now my preference on how I make these available to me is I created this custom tab that I called automation, and I've got several other add-ins and macros in here. And I'm going to add it here by going to File. Then I'm going to go down to Options. And then in this Excel Options dialog, let me shrink this down so it's in the screen. In this Excel Options dialog, we go down to Customize Ribbon. You can also add it to your Quick Access toolbar. I prefer the Customize Ribbon. And then on this left side, notice here I've already got the the automation, my custom tab here. And you can do that by clicking on New Tab and customizing the name. It's real easy. But I'm going to go back and on this left side up here under Choose Commands From, I'm going to open that drop down. I'm going to go to Macros, and notice they're all here. So border blue, that is, so I want this one that says borderblue.xlam. There is this borderblue.xlsm. That's the actual file that it's in. The problem with that is if you were to delete this file or you were to save it to another location, if Excel went looking for that, it might cause you problems. Now you can also save this to your personal.xlsb workbook and kind of accomplish the same thing, but in this case we're going to do it as an add-in. So we want to find that .xlam file and then highlight that and then add it. Make sure you select the correct tab for it. I'm going to go under My Macros in the Automation tab, click Add. I can change, if I go to Rename, I can change that little icon. There's a whole slew of icons that you can use. I just kind of like that little arrow to the right just to kind of keep it consistent. I'll click OK once again, and notice here that I've got this border blue. Let me fix this up. Actually, I need to go back to Options, go back to Customize Ribbon, go in here. I want to remove this guy. And then I'm going to go back in here. I need to rename this because it's just giving it a default name. I'm going to instead just leave it at border blue, or let's say just blue borders. All right. So click OK. Click OK again. And here it is, blue borders. So if I make a selection, click on that guy, there you go. Look at that, pretty cool. Go here, make the selection of the entire worksheet, click on blue borders, and it gives a blue grid for the entire worksheet. So there you go, a new macro on creating border formatting, and then adding it as an add-in to your Excel custom tab in the ribbon. So I hope you like that. I hope you learned something new. Again, please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notifications when I upload new videos, and then leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Give me some feedback on this. If you got anything to add, I would certainly love to hear it. So thanks again for watching. Y'all have a great day. Thanks everybody for watching. Please take a minute to like and subscribe, and be sure to check us out at theaccidentalexcellist.com.